What's up, YouTube? We are back. It's Monday. It's a beautiful day. I'm not doing any woodworking today. Mondays are my day to kind of relax, reflect, get all the things that I need to get done, like around the house. I'm doing some laundry. I've cleaned up a little bit. Probably be doing some dishes later. But even though I try to get things done and stay focused here, it's still a more calm and relaxing day for me. But I wanted to speak about how I feel that my son has saved me and really given me some energy and just a ton of motivation to move forward towards goals that I probably had at one point in my life but kind of gave up on. So, for a while I was not getting a whole lot done. I played video games a lot, sometimes all day long. Multiple days in a row, 4 or 5 days in a row. I'd just spend all day playing video games, and I wasn't reaching the goals that I kind of had in mind. I wasn't really focused on some of the goals that I had at some point, and I was kind of okay with it. I was focused on my kids. I was focused on making sure that they have everything that they needed, that they're happy, that we're having fun together. I spend a ton of time with my kids, playing with my kids, going to the gym with my kids, playing board games, card games. Sometimes I make up games that we play, whatever it might be. But that was kind of where my focus lay. And I just kind of stopped focusing on, I guess, things for me and myself and my own goals. But I was to the point where I was very complacent. I kind of had everything I needed, but I definitely was not focused on the right things. Money was tight. I had no ambition to work any harder to get any more money. I wasn't focused on like the bills and the things that I should be focused on, and I was getting behind on certain things, and just certainly not headed in the proper direction. And I was just okay with it. I was fine with it. I certainly most days wasn't feeling great, didn't have a ton of motivation to get out of bed and stay focused on things, and it was because all I did was play video games, and I was not, it's like our reticular activation system, right? Something that you might have as like a goal or something you're focused on. Maybe you see a new car that you want, and then you start to see that car everywhere because your reticular activation system has now made that a focus, and now you're seeing whatever that is everywhere. I was not focused on the right things. I was focused on how things felt maybe unfair at times in my life, or I was just focused on problems that seemed too great to overcome. But rather than focus on a path that would take me in a direction towards my goals, I was just focused on either negative things, or I wasn't focused on anything at all because I was just playing video games all day and just ignoring, things that maybe were problems or becoming problems. So, anyways, how did my son save me? Well, I've done a really good job with my kids. They're wonderful, beautiful children. I love them so much. They're smart, they're kind, funny, athletic. But, when they come home from school, I ask how their day was or what they did or what they learned, what they worked on. And, when they're real young, you don't get much out of them. They don't care to take the time to think about what they actually did that day. But I ask them all the time, basically every day, and it got to the point now where my son is asking me how my day was and what I got done and what I worked on, and it doesn't feel great to tell my son that, well, I didn't do anything today. I played video games all day. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest, and he's in basketball, and there's so many times where I wish he would just try a little bit harder and just be a little more aggressive and fight. And, we've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. And it seems like, he's just not getting it. He's not working harder. It's like, why doesn't he just go out there and fight a little harder? But here I am, the man of the house, the father, playing video games all day. It's like, what example am I giving him? What am I working hard towards or fighting towards? Not a whole lot. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I work pretty hard. I've come far. I've tried a couple businesses. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, and I've always somewhat taken steps towards goals, but I often get sidetracked. I often take steps backwards or stop taking steps at all, period, towards the goal, right? And it's just nice to finally have the motivation, I guess, that I needed. And that motivation is to show my son that you can fight hard, you can reach your goals. I've got some goals set out. I'm keeping my kids in tune with my own goals so they can see my effort and my dedication to get towards my goals. And I'm hoping that by doing these things, I'm gonna implant the lessons and hopefully the guidance that they're gonna need to succeed. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. I truly feel that my son has saved me. He's got me back on the right track. So thank you, Ronan. I love you. Thanks, everybody.